Hey Orbiters, it's Torque here. Today I'm going to be talking about tension. Not just the basic, I can get tension with the orbit when we're first starting to learn, but just a few more quote-unquote advanced topics and tricks that I like to play around with and use. I think since, with orbits, one of the main ways it functions is that it has tension and is spinning. And so I think it's important to be able to maintain that smoothly and throughout the course of your show. Obviously, there are moves that you do without tension, but that has to be intentional. It happens often enough, but I try to do my best to always have tension at my disposal. A lot of times, you'll see people do something and get to here and pull on it and they don't have tension, and so you see them go into this, which once again, this move is something wrong with this move. I like to use it all the time, but it once again has to be intentional, not you're forced into doing that. So I'm not sure if I'd even call this a tutorial. It's just gonna be me rambling about a few things I like to do and think of. So I hope you learned something. If not, whatever. So first I'm going to talk about kind of the simplest one ideas and things to think about is when you stop your orbit. At what moment in its spin do you stop it? Because that's really important. You want to at all times, if possible, to stop it right when it changes direction. So there's this moment where it's spinning one direction and it stops for a second, it changes direction, and you want to do your best at all times to stop it at that moment, because then the string is as wrapped up as it can be, and it's just wanting to turn around and unwind the other way. So you're going to have the most tension. Whenever I am doing color changes, I'll make sure to stop it at a moment like that. So when I let go and come out of it, it's spinning. I really think that they look a lot more drastic when you come out of it spinning versus when you don't. And I talk more about that in my color change tutorial, but I've seen people stop it just abruptly at the end of it going in the opposite direction. So if you stop it then you have the risk of losing tension. So it's a pretty easy concept. Just pay attention to when you stop it, when you catch it, stuff like that. Another thing I like to do is there's this concept that people refer to as preloading tension. It's not a term I came up with, but I can't think of a better one. So you have that tension going, and when it's doing that, about to turn around, you wrap it around your hands or your fingers or whatever you want. You wrap it around your hands a few times. And you get to this point where you have all this string wrapped around you. Depending on how long your string is, will determine how many times you can wrap up. You'll be doing stuff, and you'll eventually lose tension in this short string area that you have. I like to do pivots without tension. I think they look cool, and I also think liquid without tension has a lot of potential. Granted, they look cool with tension as well, but I like to do stuff without tension. So when I get to this point where I have no tension, I like to have it built up around my fingers so I can let go, pull on it again, and I have tension immediately. Catches people off guard because you just didn't have it and now you do. And it allows me to just do moves that have no tension because I do enjoy those moves. So once again, it's preloading. It's a really good trick. It's nice to just always be thinking about that. Every time I wrap up, I'm doing it at a point where it's wrapped around. I've done it so much that it's just almost second nature to pay attention to when I'm wrapping my hands around or my strings around my fingers, so I have that tension built up in case I lose it in whatever short string manipulation I want to do. So that's another one. If it happens to everyone. You lose tension. You don't have any preloaded, or you have some preloaded and it wasn't enough, or whatever. You want to have some tricks of getting tension quickly. A real simple one is just so you're out of tension. Just run it up your body, and then you have it again. You run it along your leg, or all the way up, or wherever. However you like. If you're standing, you can use your legs for sure. If you're sitting like I am, your chest is easier. That's a really nice one. I like it. Another one that I like to do is I'll come in close and I'll just flick it with my thumb, and then I'll have tension again. People may notice if you're going like this, because everyone's used to people doing this for getting tension, because that's how we all started off. That's what we learned, but not many people notice that was intentional and for that purpose, especially to get it smooth. Another one is, if you have to do circles, and you're not trying to get noticed, it's a lot easier to build tension quickly with some small circles and some short string. So if I lose tension, I'll start liquiding like this, and then when you're from liquiding, you can wrap up pretty short, so you can get a few spins in there, and bam, it's got tension again. So you go from having no tension to some liquid to just 2 circles, 3 circles at the most, and then you have tension again. So just come up with ways. You don't have to use those 3 by any means. I like those 3. I use those 3. You can come up with your own for sure. Just have some tricks up your sleeve to how to get tension back quickly that fits with your style. It's just useful. And then another thing, someone asked me how I can get tension from it being stationary. With some of those tricks I showed you guys, I like to do this move where you're spinning it and then you drop it. And when you drop it, you're not pulling on the string. It's wound up, but you're not pulling on it. So from here you can move around, do whatever, and when you stretch your arms out, it has that tension right there. That one catches people off guard fairly often because they're not sure. They're not, a lot of people don't know that it's possible to have tension in the string without it spinning. It's harder with thicker strings. I imagine this move's harder with shoelace, and I've seen it done with satin cord, but it's definitely a lot easier with this really thin string. So you have this. What I really like about this move, it allows you to interact with your audience, or I'll ask them to blow on it, and I'll pull as they blow. I will, I'll be doing this. I'll pretend it's broken, ask them to blow on it, or I'll blow on it. You do any number of things, and it's just kind of cool, because it kind of pauses the show and then starts it again in a cool way. That's the trick that I like to do, and it's that concept of dropping the orbit down so its weight is not pulling outwards on the strings. Gosh, that's pretty much it. At this point, if I kept going, I'd just be rambling about useless stuff. If you have any other questions, or you see me do something in a show that I didn't cover, feel free to ask, send me a message or whatever, and I'll be happy to talk about it. So I hope you learned something. Like I said, if not, can't help you there, but tune in next time.